Okay, everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, all right, so the three colors that we're going to start with, okay? We're going to start with red, yellow, and blue. Okay, why am I starting with red, yellow, and blue? Thank you. They are the primary colors. So, you may as well just start with the red, and then the yellow, and then the blue, okay? So when you color in the color wheel, don't be shy. I want you to make a solid color, okay? And I want you to color in the whole space. This whole thing by the end is going to be nice and colorful and bright. Okay, and I'll put out some pencil sharpeners because yes, you will be using these pencils. All right, so for the red, there's nothing I need to do. The red just exists. I cannot make red by combining two colors. So that is why I'm giving you at least red. Okay, so I'm coloring this in nice and dark. I want you to see the difference between not coloring it in dark and coloring it in solid. This is what I call solid. This is more wishy-washy. All right, I really want you to color it in solid color just to really get the point across. That's red. It's not anything else. This is kind of like a value of red more than anything else. Okay, so there's my red. Here's my yellow. All right, obviously you guys are gonna know how to do this one. If you don't, I apologize for saying obvious. Hopefully you will know just to color these in. So once we get started and I hand out the colors, I'm going to walk around this room and try to hide every colored pencil box possible. Why? Because somehow somebody does not manage to listen to the directions or read them on the bottom. Okay, I have them in English as well. And instead, you feel that it's okay to just color in the orange with just orange. Now, again, I know that you guys know this is orange, and I know you know that's purple and that that's green. But what I want you to learn is how to create those colors. So now that I've got the red and the yellow, how do I make the orange? I mix them. Okay. So remember when we were mixing with the water? And if you did, I don't know if anybody did this. Maybe you took the red and then you combined in a little bit of the yellow. And it was probably a lot harder to mix those colors together. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna start with the lighter color, just like we did with the water, okay? So I'm gonna start with a light layer. Now I'm gonna do the wishy-washy, okay? Because it's similar to cross-hatching, if you've ever done that. If you were in my class, you have done cross-hatching. If you're not sure what I mean by cross-hatching, this is an example of cross-hatching, when basically the lines are just weaving together, okay? So there's a lot of lines going back and forth. It's that same idea. We're kind of weaving these two colors together until we can create the color we want. Okay, so I've got a nice layer of yellow, but it's not too dark, okay? You can see it's definitely a different value of yellow than that first one I just drew. Now I'm gonna take the red and I'm gonna go lightly because I don't know how it's going to change the color in the first place, okay? So I'm gonna go in lightly with the red. I have a feeling I'm not gonna need too much red. Also, look at what I'm doing when I color this in. I'm going along the edges first, and I'm doing that because it helps me stay in place and it helps me stay in the lines. I don't know if anybody knew that trick when they were younger and you were coloring in coloring books, but it's always a good technique to color around the edges. All right, so right now, not quite at orange. We're not there yet. So I'm gonna go in with another layer of the yellow, and I'm gonna start to go in a little bit stronger because I don't think I'm gonna need too much more red, but I definitely need more yellow. Okay, and now I'm starting to get that orange color. All right, that's pretty good. The most that I really want to do is there's some holes in here I want to fix so I get more of a solid color. And a good way to do that is, again, just like the cross hatching I was just telling you about. I'm going in a different direction to kind of fill in those holes. Okay? And just solidifying it as much as I possibly can. Okay, and now I've got my orange. So your goal is, first thing is going to create the red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and you're creating the orange, the green, and the purple. Now for the purple, before I send you on your way to start coloring, okay, so I've got this blue. This is the blue that we're talking about in the color wheel. Okay, and the blue, I'm just coloring in that solid blue. Okay, again, even when I'm not mixing, I'm still going around the edge to help. Okay, so I'm actually gonna mix this off to the side just so I can show you. I knew that was gonna happen. Ah. Okay. Quick. Okay, so there's my blue. So now for the purple, I'm gonna combine with the colored pencils, and I'm gonna do this off to the side because I want you to use your judgment which one you think works best. All right, so I used this blue. Now I'm gonna use this red. Now I don't know how yucky that looks to you guys, but it's kind of already pretty yuck. I don't know what it is with the colored pencil, but when I combine this red and this blue, it's not a great purple, and then it just kind of throws everything off. So I'm gonna do 2 more attempts. So I'm using this blue, and now I'm gonna use magenta instead. And over here, I'm gonna use the cyan and the magenta. Okay, so here's, oh, look at that. Does it show up on there? It's so terrible. No. All right, I'll show you 1 second. All right, so this is with the magenta. All right, now let's try with the cyan and the magenta. I feel like that one's almost a little too light for this, but it definitely does get the point across that it's kind of purple. So when you combine it, I think the verdict is to use the darker blue and the magenta to create that purple. That's this one, okay? Let's see if we add in red, if it looks a little more. No, don't do it. Oh, it's terrible. Don't touch the red with the purple. Okay. All right, so that's what you would be filling in for the purple and the green. Same idea with the yellow into the orange. Start with the yellow before you add the blue, okay? And that one, same thing. Let's see what the difference would be between the cyan. All right, and if you want to do these experiments yourself off to the side, that's fine. Oh, they're both kind of good. I think you'd be fine either way. Okay? So for the green, the top one is the darker blue, and the bottom is the cyan. All right, so whichever one you feel works the best for you. I kind of vote the darker blue, but remember, I went in very gently when I did that. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Also, just so you know, I'm not trying to torture anybody. So when you show me the middle 6 are completed, okay? And I promise you, if you find an orange or you find a purple or you find a green and you color it in with just the colored pencil, I will know. I can tell every time. All right, once you finish the middle 6, Then I'm going to give you orange, purple, and green. I will not torture you that much. All right, so when it comes time to the tertiary colors, I'll go over how to mix those, and then you can use the secondary colors as well, okay? With the middle 6. Right now, the colors that you have red, yellow, you have magenta, you have a cyan, and you should have a blue, okay? With these colors, you were able to create those middle 6 original colors for the color wheel. So red, yellow, and blue are your primaries. Orange, green, and purple are the 3 colors you created. Those are secondary colors. So, to write that out, so red, yellow, and blue were your primaries. And what were the 3 secondary colors? Orange, violet, green, okay? So these were your secondary colors. Okay, so now, if you notice right here, Círculo Pequeño Terciario. So this is a tertiary color wheel. The tertiary colors are created by combining a primary and a secondary. So red is a primary, orange is a secondary, and you're combining the 2. However, on this particular color wheel, you have colors like red-orange versus orange-red. So first of all, I'm not gonna torture you so much anymore. You have these colors, but now I'm going to give you guys orange, green. I'll even give you a light green in case that helps with the mixing. And then we are also going to get purple. Okay? So you'll have all of these colors now to color in the rest of the color wheel. But again, I do want to just demonstrate, first of all, what it means, the difference between orange-red versus red-orange, and how we should be blending these colors again. All right? So in order to create the red-orange, you don't just need the red and yellow. So to create the red-orange, I'm going to use red and orange. If it says red first, then that's the color I'm going to shade in first. Okay, so here I have the red. I'm doing that same thing where I'm drawing a border. Okay, that border kind of gives me a little cushion room so that I don't go outside the lines as easily. All right, so I'm doing a good shade of red first. And now in another direction, because if you go in another direction will help to blend the colors. Okay, now do me a favor, while you're working, don't go back and cheat. Don't take this orange and color over what you did here. You will, first of all, lose points for that. The purpose of this worksheet is to learn how to combine colors and how to blend them. Okay, so right now I have a nice reddish orange. Okay, and it's a nice smooth color. Now in the next space, I have orange red. So I'm gonna actually start with the orange first and then go in with the red. So same thing. Okay, I'm going in light with the orange. Okay, now because the orange I feel is a little bit lighter than the red, I'm gonna go in lightly with the red still, because I really don't want to end up with the same color here. I want it to look more orangey. Okay, so just again, when we were mixing the colors with the water, we always had to be careful and kind of like start slowly with the combinations. So that's exactly what I'm doing with the colored pencils as well. Okay, so now I have the red in there, but I left it not so solid on purpose. You with me, Wilson? Okay. So now I'm going to go in a lot heavier with the orange to make it a much more solid color. And because I went lighter with the red, I should end up with an orangey red. Okay, so you can see a difference between the two colors. This one is way more red and this one is way more orange. So there should be a difference between these two colors. So I do want to also point out, I'm going to do it over here with the blue or the purple blue and the blue purple. Guys, a lot of the times I'll see people just give a blanket color. They'll say, okay, this says purple, this says purple, this says purple, this says purple. I'm gonna color all of these with purple. And what happens is, okay, I see people do this. Okay, they do that in here and they just cover over the whole thing with the purple and then they try mixing the colors. And it doesn't always necessarily work out. So there's that. Then the blue, and then here also has blue, so it doesn't really work the way you want it to. So don't just give it a blanket color. I want you shading each one or coloring each one in individually. All right, so again, let's see. like the red purple. Again, it starts with red, so I'm gonna start with red. All right, now purple is another color that we had a challenge of creating. You probably won't need the magenta so much here, or even the cyan. Okay, so I've got my red. Now I want to go in lightly with the purple. One that's sharpened would be great. Okay, and again, I'm blending the colors gently because I want this red purple to be mostly red and I want the next one to be mostly purple. Okay, any questions about this? Okay, so for the orange yellow, and again, this is in case anyone's confused, because while you're coloring this, you should notice that they are all going in order. It should feel right. It should look like they're going in the correct order. Okay, and again, I do want to reiterate that if you're still working on the middle 6 colors, please only use the red, yellow, and blue, and magenta, and cyan to help you make those 6 colors.